angels are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail. Let's see what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring or fall, you're home in the Rockies as it all. So gear up, get ready to plan your day. The ideas are brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail.
Hi, and welcome to Good Day Vail, a show dedicated to help you live your best life in the Vail Valley. My name is Stacey, and yes, I am a transplant from the Northeast. Please don't hold that against me. But I'm also the host of this show. This show, Good Day Vail, was developed with you in mind to help you thrive in the mountains, learning from locals about their passions, and help you find new ways to engage in the community. And today's episode is focused on something that we are all very passionate about, and that is snow sports. And hopefully by the end of this episode, you will see that all of us can inspire others to learn how to ski, how to board, Nordic, any age group, as well as adaptive skiing, that it really is easy for all of us to become involved with snow sports instruction and help bring smiles to everyone's face. With 26 Colorado resorts.
Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Day Vail. And today, as I mentioned earlier, we are blessed to have two extraordinary individuals that will focus on ski instruction. So with me is Stacey Gerrish and Dan Humiston. So thank you to you both for spending time with us at Good Day Vail. I am really interested for you to share with our viewers how you got involved in the Valley. How did you come to the Valley? Why are you still here? And then we'll get into skiing. So Stacey, why don't you start?
Sure. Thanks for having me on, Cece. So I've been in the Valley for 33 years, and I came out here kind of happenstance. I think a lot of people have the same story. You know, came out for a winter and ended up turning it into a lifetime. When I first came out here, I knew I was going to teach skiing, but beyond that, I had no idea what I was going to do. And I came out originally with a friend from Vermont on a road trip.
And just a side note, Stacey and I are dear friends from college. We actually even graduated in the same class from our alma mater. So Stacey was also very instrumental in getting me out here as well. So I'm so grateful, Stacey. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Dan, how did you end up in the Vail Valley?
I've been here, this is my 6th season, and my oldest daughter moved to Denver, and then my younger daughter went to school in Boulder, so I said, you know, I never took that gap year out of college to go skiing, and so I came out here to ski and ride my bike and take a year off, and that was, 5 years ago? This is my 6th season, so yeah. What started off as just to take a break turned into just my new home.
Yeah, it's something that, like you said, most people do after college, and you and I are doing it in the reverse. So now let's jump right into skiing. The two of you are avid skiers. Stacey, how did you get involved in skiing?
Well, I didn't really have a choice, to be honest, which I'm grateful for. My mom, I grew up in Vermont in a ski town, and my mom was a ski instructor. And so my birthday's in November, so the November that I turned 3, she had me on skis. Wow. And she basically brought me to work with her. And so I hung out at the mountain, and that's pretty much all I knew about winter was that's where I spent my time, was at the ski area skiing. So that's how it all started.
Wow.
That's and for those of us that teach, which all three of us teach in a wide variety of ways, your child needs to be able to use the restroom as well. So it's interesting, you know, at age 3, you're wondering, can they pee? So no pee, no ski as a ski instructor, but that's for another story. All right, Dan, back to you. Tell us about skiing. How it came into your life.
My mom wasn't a ski instructor, but we spent a lot of time skiing as a family growing up, and it seems like every winter that's what we did. You were on the slopes. You didn't really have much choice in the matter. You just went out and went skiing. And then the same thing moved forward as I had kids. It was the same thing. Every winter we just went skiing, and it's just a lifestyle.
What I love about the two of you is that not only is it a lifestyle, but there's family involvement in it. And I think that that's key. I mean, some things that I hear often are that the family that skis together stays together, something to be thought of. But, you know, I think of that as it relates to instruction too, because there's such a wonderful opportunity for people to learn how to ski well, fast in today's environment. And Stacey, you are snow sports educator extraordinaire. So tell me a little bit about what got you involved with educating in snow sports, and where did it start, and your passion around that.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you mentioned, we went to college together, and I have a business degree, as you do. And when I first came out here, I was taking a break and thought I would go back to school for an MBA. And when I got out here, I joined PSIA, which is Professional Ski Instructors of America. And I started down the certification pathway. And I quickly fell in love with their educational pathway. And I saw it as a way for me to develop myself as a person and also as a skier. And I actually called my parents and said, you know, I don't think I'm going to go to grad school after all. I think I found my grad school within PSIA ASI. And I just went through the certification track. One of my mentors at that time really inspired me to continue on. And so I carried on and became an examiner and an educator for the Rocky Mountain region. And then I was fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time and have quality writing skills. And I was asked to write one of their first teaching handbooks. And I've written quite a few of them since.
And just to note, here is a little example of one of the handbooks Stacey is talking about. We didn't have a chance to get all of them, but she is so well known in PSIA and has an extraordinary writing skills, like she said, and can make the tough really simple, because I have had to read them and digest it and learn how to teach myself. So kudos to you and congratulations. Again, just one of many different authored books and papers that Stacey has. So, all right, Dan, your path is a little bit different. So how did the passion for ski instruction come around for you?
Well, I was I coached ski racing, and when I moved out here, I had no plan to continue coaching ski racing, and I knew some people on the hill, and they said, you know, really should try instructing, and I'd never done it, and the first time I did it, I realized that it was something I really enjoyed, and it just took off from there. And the training that we did with PSIA and learning how they teach people and bring people from never ever being on skis or even seeing snow to in a couple days being able to bring them down the hill, and just, you know, it's really gratifying. It's such a great feeling when you can, you know, when somebody was so scared the first day and so unsure of the situation to, this is going to be the rest of my life. I'm going to be skiing for the rest of my life.
So do you have a memorable moment? You know, is there one class? Is there one person? Is there any one moment that sticks out that you could share with our viewers about how inspirational it is when you teach someone, or someone new how to ski, or someone that maybe haven't skied for 20 years? Yeah.
You know, it's funny. We teach all different levels and all different type of people, from the youngest, most fit people to the, you know, older, less fit people, and there's always a way to figure out to make them so that they enjoy the experience. And a lot of, but a very similar. We see a lot of moms or significant others that are doing it on behalf of their partner or their family, and sometimes they're not sure about the whole situation, and it's a reoccurring theme where we have a mother who's not really sure about skiing, and then we teach her to ski, and then she realizes how much she loves it. And I mean, I've had moms, when they're saying goodbye, crying because they're so happy, because they're
happy crying.
Oh, happy crying, yeah, with the tears of joy, because they're like, you know, now I can participate in it. Now I'm not going to be on every single run with my kids, but I can take a couple runs with them and enjoy what they're enjoying, and, you know, and it's that
Yeah, you
It's
can't-
hard to replace that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I become very emotional when someone is that excited about
Yeah.
learning how to ski or being able to ski with their family. Stacey, what about you? What is one of the most memorable moments that you had educating people and come out?
Oh gosh, I've had so many. I would say it's multi-level. So kind of as Dan was saying, it's really gratifying to teach someone how to ski. But one of the moments that stands out for me is one of my students early on in my career, a young girl who I taught for multiple years. And then I lost track of her. You know, she got older and went to college and kind of lost track of her. And years later, she came back to be a ski instructor after she graduated from college. And she was so thrilled to see that I was still around, you know, in the industry. And for me to see how much of an influence I had had on her when she was young, so much so that she wanted, became her dream, was to become an instructor.
Oh, wow.
And so to have that realization of just the influence that we have on people when they're on vacation and they take it home and they want to carry it into their future, it's really incredibly gratifying.
Well, Stacey, you've done that for me in many different realms as it relates to helping me become educated in skiing. And it's at this point we're going to take a short station break, and I ask you all to stay tuned as we come back and talk to Dan and Stacey about how we can get you involved in teaching snow sports and bringing smiles to everyone that is on the snow.
Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail. Good day, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Day Vail. I'm here with Stacey Gerrish and Dan Humiston as we're talking about the inspiration of becoming a ski instructor and what that does to guests that want to learn how to ski and do other snow sports as well. So, Stacey, we've been talking a lot about education. You, by far, are one of the most knowledgeable international global educators when it comes to snow sports. You've talked about how you've been an author. I've had a chance to ski with you and see you coach me. Tell me a little bit about some of the changes that you've seen in ski instruction and how you, as an educator, have had to adapt to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, the equipment has evolved in a really great way. Skis and boards have evolved in terms of the technology and the design, which makes skiing and snowboarding more efficient, as well as the boots, generally all the equipment really, including helmets.
And to clarify, when you say efficient, you're talking efficient for the user.
Exactly,
Okay.
efficient for the user. So what we've adapted in snow sports education is we've adapted how we're teaching to best utilize the equipment so that the outcome is efficiency, so someone has the longevity to enjoy the sport.
They don't get as tired fast.
They don't get as tired as quickly, and they can explore more terrain and just feel a higher level of comfort. And the other change in education really is an outcome of the pandemic, is that we have access to education now both in person and online. And that's been a really tremendous, I think, a tremendous improvement. It's provided access to people really easily all over the world, whether you're involved in snow sports or not. And so, yeah, that's been a really great change.
So what online references are you referring to?
So PSIA ASI has a whole online menu of education for people that are members of that organization and are already kind of in the teaching realm. But for folks that are not yet teaching, there's other online educational avenues out there. In fact, I started one myself.
Yes, it's a plug for T-Talk.
Yes, so I started T-Talks very organically back in March of 2020 when kind of the world shut down, and I just wasn't ready for the season to end. And so I started Zooming with a bunch of other ski enthusiasts, and I've now done over 100 episodes.
Wow.
And they are available online for people who miss them to watch.
Have you had a week off? If I put the math together, I mean...
I have had some weeks off,
Okay.
But there's been many Tuesdays where I do it. It's on Tuesday evenings. And it's been really fun for me, but I think everyone else has really enjoyed logging in, and people log in from all over the world. And you don't have to be an instructor to log into T-Talks. It's open really to anyone who's interested in what we're doing in snow sports.
And how do people learn about T-Talks? Do you have a website?
So we don't have a website, but we have a Facebook page.
Okay.
And so the Facebook group is Tuesday T-Talks with Stacey, and anyone's welcome to join. And so I promote all the talks on that Facebook page.
Wonderful.
And
What
then-
a great way. And you don't even have to commit to anything like PSIA. You
Nope,
do need
it's
to
free.
commit.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it's
wonderful.
free education on Tuesday evening, 6 o'clock Mountain Time for about an hour.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Dan, you're an instructor. I'm an instructor. Tell me a little bit about, or tell the viewers about getting to be certified by whatever resort you're working for. What does that entail typically?
I guess it's different at every resort. But I don't know that all resorts require PSIA certification, but it's definitely helpful. And I'm sure if you have PSIA certification, it probably gives you an advantage when applying for a job. It's pretty comprehensive. I mean, it teaches you how to work with not just every skill level, but different types of people, from children to adults to everything in between,
Adaptive.
right? Adaptive,
Adaptive.
yeah.
Cross country.
Yep.
Yeah, and then all different types of terrain and all different types of, whether it's boarding or skiing, or I mean, there's people in the terrain parks. There's all kinds of. The training is limitless. It really depends on your passion and where you want to take it.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, and from my experience, PSIA really helps someone that is naive to snow sports education and helps them get to a level that they feel that they're comfortable in front of a guest. And to Dan's point, I know resorts do have their own training programs, and so there's a certification I would believe that happen at most resorts where they teach you what you need to know to get out in front of a guest. And I think my point here is that anyone with solid fundamentals of snow sports, with good people skills, could be an instructor. And I, just would implore that anyone out there that has any interest to think about it and to get involved, because I know I was scared to death. But after the amount of training, the numerous days on snow, and as Stacey mentioned, there was some other type of formal training that was online, and books like Stacey's certification books. It just really prepared me to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But obviously I also don't have a problem talking to people, so that also kind of helps as well. But this is not about me, so back to you, Stacey. Tell us a little bit about this is your career. So, what has been a pinnacle of your career thus far?
Oh my gosh.
And I know there's a lot, but
There
is
are
there
a
one
lot.
that sticks out?
There is one that sticks out. It's hard for me to mention it because I'm not one to really talk about myself that much. But I did win a very prestigious award last year through PSIA ASI. So I was honored to receive the Education Excellence Award. And honestly, I wouldn't have earned that award had I not been so enthusiastic about my career. And it's all the people I've had the chance to work with, to teach, all the other folks I've had the opportunity to train around the country, really. I've traveled all over the country, and I've traveled internationally to train other people. And it's because of those experiences that I've been so inspired to write materials. And because I've written those materials, I was eligible to receive that award.
Wow, that's great.
Kudos to you.
Thank you.
It's a very elite list from what I hear.
Yeah.
And I know, as I recall, they did celebrate during COVID, though,
Yeah,
right?
we
So
did.
Is,
It was a small celebration because of COVID.
All right. Well, maybe
Yeah.
now that we're a little broken out, I'm going to throw you a celebration.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
I have a plaque. I could have brought it today, but I didn't bring it.
All right. Well, we'll bring it to our celebration.
Okay.
So, so this question's for the two of you. Who would make a good snow sports instructor?
Well, in my opinion, anyone who has enthusiasm about being out on the mountain as a skier, a snowboarder, Nordic, even someone who has is using adaptive equipment. So first of all, it's enthusiasm for the sport, a basic understanding of how to utilize the equipment that you're on, and definitely a willingness to be coached. So that willingness to be coached, and as you mentioned earlier, people skills.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I've seen, though, friends of mine that don't necessarily want to deal with adults all the time, they have been signing up for, small wee ones. Do you want to talk about, the opportunities to not just teach kids to ski, but also just to maybe take care of children during the day too?
Sure. I mean, most ski and snowboard schools have the opportunity for children. I believe most of them are ages 3 and up, as long as they're potty trained.
Sorry, that's the no pee, no ski.
Yeah, and so no matter what age group you want to work with, there's an opportunity to work with that group. Personally, I find the 3 and 4-year-olds to be incredibly entertaining and a lot of fun to spend the time with. And don't let age fool you. 3 and 4-year-olds can rip around the mountain just as well as 30 and 40-year-olds with enough mileage under their skis.
Sure.
Yeah. I can get that.
Yeah.
And they can get in a lot of trouble too. See.
Yes, they can. Yeah. They can.
And the thing about that age group is it's fun to try and distinguish when they're tired and when they're not, because that age group also sometimes needs to take a nap. And so sometimes when I've had
This
them,
age group needs to take a nap.
when I've had them, I remember I had to go play, take them out and build snowman with them just so that they could have a little break, and what have you. But I want to thank you both again for joining us. It just has been great to hear about snow sports education, because it's imperative to let the Valley know that if you are solid as a skier and just know the basics, you too can become a ski instructor. So thank you all for joining us at Good Day Vail, Stacey, Dan, and we look forward to having you join us with the next show where we teach you how to thrive in the mountain. Have a great day.
Good day.